everybody. This is Becca after a 12-hour shift. Look, we got going on. Welcome back to your Aunt is Cool as Shit. We have spent the last few weeks reminiscing about Rockstar Taco's history and all the cool things that have been going on. And in our latest series of posts, we paid homage to all the bands, thanks to all the awesome venues in St. Louis that we have been able to feed bands and their crew that have come through town over the last 5 years. Our first catering gig was Shinedown in May 2019, before we even opened, actually. Will went down there and fed them some of our pilot items, if you will. Guacamole, man, from the get-go. Shinedown's favorite, and many other people's in the last 5 years, including Brittany. Shout out to Brittany. I also have to shout out Baby Charlie. They are I think, our two guac biggest fans. We opened in June of 2019, and I think by the end of that month, we were getting called to Riverport. Our good friend Erica was the production manager at the time. And in Newtown, you want to say hi? Annie says hi. She's a star, if you haven't caught on yet. Our friend was production manager at the time of Riverport, and we were about 15 minutes away in Newtown. So it was a quick jaunt down 370 to 141, and we were there pretty quickly. So we'd have some planned out events, and we'd also have some last minute, like, oh, can you do me a solid? So we started feeding bands at Riverport. When we moved to the city, we had a lot more venues at our disposal. We actually built an awesome relationship with the factory, which I think is about 3 years old now. We had been at the new location, I want to say 6 months when they opened, and we started feeding guests in the front of house and also catering to bands in the back of house. We don't just serve tacos. Will's in particular expertise, and mine as well, is that we can feed people throughout the day, whatever meals they feel like. So what sets us apart in the catering arena is that we have fully curated menus depending on people's wants, needs, dietary restrictions, budgets. I'm trying to remember the band, but we did a whole curry buffet for dinner. I was super pumped about that one. Anyway, reminiscing about all the bands that have really made an impact on our success, and also our relationships with especially bands that we've fed multiple times. Alice Cooper, through him, and our friends who work for him. We love you guys. Nita Strauss, through that, Wolfgang Van Halen, we've fed him twice. Some of the greats, Gwar, thanks to our friends at Indigoot. Shout out McGaffey's, Chris, Adrock, and all of you. We love you. I was actually sacrificed by Gwar a couple years ago for my birthday. Epic picture I shared earlier. Some of the coolest ones, for me, I think it might have been Tenacious D last year, so I thought I would take a moment and share with you the story from my perspective. So anyone who knows me knows that I love funny things. That was something that brought Will and I together pretty quickly, actually. Our next installment of story time is going to be about how we're both built for puns. So, of course, Rockstar Tacos, our baby, is what it is because of us. Tenacious D had a huge impact on me. The television show, their albums, and everything. I was in college when all that came out, which was years ago. So when this bid came across our desk for us to cater Tenacious D, I said, Will, take a step back. This is my area of expertise. I know their content so well. And he was like, okay, here we go. I curated their menu for the crew throughout the entire day, 3 meals, to be only food they mentioned in their bits, on TV, and in their albums. So for instance, I made actual cute little menu cards with their logo on it. They had bagels, ordered from Zanzibar. They had low-hanging fruit, or fruit salad. For lunch, the entire menu was Junior Western bacon cheese, bacon cheeseburgers with special curly fries, As you can see, we had a lot of fun. I was not out there. I was actually feverishly cooking food at the restaurant and hightailing out to the factory. I think our start was at 5 a.m. that day. Dropped off lunch, ran back, cooked dinner, which was spicy meatball subs because they were on their spicy meatball tour, which seemed a pretty low-hanging fruit of its own. But we thought, how can we not do that? So what was it? Spicy meatball subs. There were a couple other references there, but my coup de grace was Cherry's Jubilee. We served that for dinner, which I don't think anyone in St. Louis has been served in a good 50 years, but we made it happen. Finally get there. Will is run off his feet. I finally sit down to man the Cherry's Jubilee station so I can serve people. And Jack Black arrives. He walks in the green room where we're feeding people in his typical jovial self. I am dead on my feet. I'm actually sitting for the first time that day. Everything's finally done. We got everything done. The crew loved it. Everyone was super happy. And Jack came in and was just talking to people, shaking people's hands. I can't even get excited because my back is killing me. I've got like spaghetti sauce on my sweatshirt. I finally sat down the first time. He remembers Will from previous years, and so he comes up and introduces himself again, like, "Hi, chef. Oh my God, did you make this cake?" The factory does something really cool that when a band or an artist sells out, they commission a special decorated cake just for them. So this one was Jack and Kyle, like raw dogging, like barebacking, if you will, a huge meatball. It was pretty spectacular. So Will was like, "Oh, no. They ordered this from someone else." And he turned around and saw that we were serving spicy meatballs. And he was like, "You guys, this is genius." And I'm in the corner, with spaghetti sauce all over me thinking, that is like the bare minimum I would expect. I mean, that was kind of handed to us, But then his manager came over and started showing him pictures of all the food that his crew ate all day. And he was dying laughing, as was she. And he finally got to Cherry's Jubilee and he went, "What even is that from? Like, what album is that from?" And in my exhaustion, I sit there and just go, "That's from your drive-through bit. It's actually not on an album." And he was like, "Dude, you know this better than I do." I'm like, "Yeah, kind of." It was my personality for a hot minute there. And then he asked to take a picture with me, which was like mind blown. Holy cow, Jack Black is who he presents on social media. In this day and age, people have an online persona and then they have, this is who I actually am. Or I'm this crazy person on stage and then I'm just like this normal person. I mean, most of the people we interact with, we get the business because we understand we're working, you're working. Yes, we have cool stories and we've met some amazing people and fed them, but we don't expect to be chumming with them all night because we're both on the clock. And I was just so refreshed to see that he truly is that kind person that we all hoped he would be in the way he presents himself. We stepped out into the concert for about a half hour. I think we had a drink, a shot to celebrate. We pulled it off and everyone was super happy. I think it's partly the way our brains work, but also partly what we have to offer, that it is a curated thing. Like, we did a specially named tacos for Alice Cooper. That's what we get off on. That's what we get excited about. And so we want to share that excitement with everyone else. If we can be the one spot in your whole tour that lasts 9 months where you remember the food because someone took the time to do that for you, or I have this horrible allergy and this was the one place where I didn't get a side of grilled zucchini. We do care about those details. We also like to have fun doing it. So that was the day I met Jack Black. Kyle was really sweet too. Actually, the whole crew was really nice, but it was a kind of shining moment for me where my dorkdom got to come out. And now, my students, hold please. Sorry, Beethoven. My students get to see this. It was like Indiana Jones, a spicy meatball tour. There we are. And who would you imagine is on the other side? Our buddy Jeff. Love and miss you, Jeff. But yeah, this is with me on my piano at all times. It was quite the cool experience, and it was pretty neat to be recognized. You know, people in service do all kinds of things like this. We want every person who walks through a restaurant door, for instance. Excuse me, ladies, no fighting while mommy's on camera. You heard me. We want everyone who walks through the door to have that awesome experience, and we do that as much as we can on a one-to-one basis, but doing it in a large format is really tricky. We're finally, after 5 years, kind of figuring out our rhythm. But that's what makes us who we are. That's what makes me and Will work together. We've got this creativity that, you know, if there's a problem, we're going to solve it. And when I saw a chance to really go for it with an entire menu throughout the day that pays homage to their catalog, I was like, you got to let me do this because it's going to be awesome. And it was. So anyway, thanks for listening to my rambling. I love you all. Ann and Nancy love you too, even though they're being kind of camera shy. They've been alone for a few hours. They're borderline feral. If you have any requests for stories or things you've heard me talk about, I'd be happy to share with whatever. There'll be a whole other gore video because that's quite an interesting sordid history and a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I got to get sacrificed on stage for my birthday. I wish you could have seen my mom's face when I told her that. My stepdad actually was super into it. He knew exactly what that meant. But anyway, till next time, I appreciate you. Thanks for being in my life. Thanks for sharing our journey, my journey, and Rockstar Tacos. And we'll see you next time.